So, it's 1 a.m. I'm tired, but I was thinking about a conversation that me, Shawnee, and Paradox Crocs had. Um, the conversation w- was interesting, and me and Paradox came to the conclusion that we're not quite good at talking, not quite good at recording, right? So, this is kind of just a little experiment, little practice to help with that. Excuse me for any stumbling or downtime. It's probably gonna happen. But what I want to talk about is a endless war, right? And kind of compare season 1 and 2 as season 2 is now. And I haven't made it I haven't made it unknown that I not I'm not enthusiastic about season 2. So far it's kind of boring. The gameplay itself I don't think is too awful. All that's wrong right now is the killers are just overwhelming victory, so nothing's happening. But more of what I'm referring to is the events and the story, the quote unquote story, and the quote unquote lore, and the quote unquote characters. Uh, I'm putting all that in quotations because I don't think it should exist per se. Um, I feel like lore was the word used way back when because it's just a funny word. We can use it to document fun things that happened. But in season 1, um, all the things that happened in season 1, all the lore events actually happened, right? There were always big events in the game going on, happening, and it was a lot of fun. To name some, when Dan killed Bevan, um, the assassination of Canman, Battle on Crack Hill, Investor, Ground Floor Boys, the new Fag invasion. It was all great, and it was all went down as lore, and it went down as lore because it really happened and people documented it and still talk about it. And in season 2, it's not a thing. I feel like all the story that's happening on all the cool lore moments, it's happening out of game, uh, maybe in like fan comics and other activities, but it's not near as interesting. And just the only events that have happened in season 2 worth noting are me and Evange camping, the Rowdies camping, and Hale getting camped and the killers breaking them out. And it all evolves around camping because I don't know, maybe the map system, maybe it needs a little tweaking, or maybe the game just needs a good old reset. But it's just obnoxious to me that none of those things are really worthwhile putting down in the lore. And as a result, season 2 has been kind of just boring. Not much has happened. And as a result of that, I feel like a lot of people are trying to force things to happen. And that's kind of bullshit. Um, all these, all the people playing right now, uh, they're trying too hard with their characters too. Uh, it, damn, trying to stop saying oh well. But they're trying too hard with characters, quote unquote characters. I feel like in season 1, if you look at the original Top Killers pick, the first one that Ben made, all of the people there, their quote unquote characters, were just themselves, and maybe they had a funny like joke or gimmick about them. Like Dan, for the probably the biggest example, his joke was that he had those constant disguises. You'd think he was the gayest man ever, but joke's on you, he was the straightest man ever. And it was really funny, but to complement that, he just had his personality, and he just typed and played as the way that he was in real life. And I do the same, and Thalamus does. And now I just see a lot of people trying to be in a character per se, and it just doesn't really work. I've always seen RFCK as not a roleplay server, and I never think it should be one because, roleplay. And I definitely think all the cool plot points and quote unquote lore happenings in season 2 is just happening with player interaction. And I know that sounds like a good thing, but I mean, it's just, hey Witchy, I'm gonna sell you my soul for art. Okay, deal. Okay, that's it. It's done. That's a lore point. And it's kind of lame. And what I think caused all this was the downtime in between seasons, because with nothing to do, we resulted to roleplay, and it has not worked out. And I don't think it's good. I don't know. I don't know what needs to happen. I just thought this was a good opportunity to voice my thoughts, talk about it a little bit. I might never do this again, and I might do it a couple more times. Who knows? But I do want to get better at talking, so I don't stumble over words or use fillers. I know when I was with Paradox, I said fucking a lot to try to get filler space. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I'll probably put some lo-fi in the background of this, just so it's not as monotonous. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the streets. Thanks for listening this far if you did.